Hello everyone, my name is Miranda Sharon and I'm here with my friend Traj today to discuss some things regarding spiritual awakening. In regards to what is going on around the world, I don't know if you guys are aware, there's a shift in consciousness and it is happening to us in real time. It could be happening to you as well on a personal level, but things are changing and we decided to play our part as light workers, contributing to the awakening and to kind of raise awareness about consciousness. So this is why the podcast is starting. The podcast is called Beyond Veils, just as what it is, the name is Beyond Veils. So our eyes have been open, we know better, we know more, and we just come in to share with some of what we know with you guys. So today's topic is basically spiritual awakening. So I'm here with my friend to share some thoughts on the topic. So Troj, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Well, what is your take on the topic spiritual awakening? What do you think?
Well, the talk spiritual awakening is it's a beautiful one, you get, and I don't know if I should define it, but spiritual awakening can be defined as basically a transformation in one's perspective. Like, how do you see? How do you perceive the things you see, like in the daily life? You understand? So it's more of a transcending. Like, you're putting away this limited egocentric behavior or way of seeing things, and you're giving into a more expansive space. Okay. Like literally freeing yourself from you and wanting to know more. That's basically how I can define spiritual awakening to a viewer outside there.
Okay, that's very interesting, and thank you for the answer. I would add on that spiritual awakening is basically remembering our essence.
Okay.
It is remembering who we are. It's basically you just wake up from the dream of separation that is created by the egoic mind, as you said. So consciousness wakes up to know itself. So you are waking up from the me that is separated from everything. The the individual, the character that thinks it is alone, that is not connected to everything. Yeah, that's what I just wanted to add to that, to what you say.
Yeah, that's
the other thing I wanted to ask is why have we not been awake, or what are we waking up from?
Well, for a very long period of time, we have been, like you said, it's an awakening, you get. So for a very long period of time, humanity, or basically people, have always wanted to be ahead of others. So a man comes into your life, or a group of people come into a particular community and decide to suppress them. And you know, where there is suppression, there is that you lack that they deprive you of that thinking for yourself. You understand? So at some point you begin thinking about how they are hurting you, how they are destroying your surrounding, your environment, your culture, and then you forget the you. And once you forget the you, for some reason or for some, I don't know, happening, you kind of put away, you kind of leave a path that you were going for. You understand?
Okay.
Like, they have hurt you. Yes, you've been hurt. That's okay. But now, what do you do after that? Now, do you go with what they have said, or you're going to continue with the path that you've set for yourself?
Okay.
You understand?
Do you mean to say that sometimes, okay, let's say, for example, the family that we live in, the culture, the people that we come in contact with, the jobs that we do, society as is structured, that it tends to program us in a certain way,
exactly.
To condition us in a certain way.
It's a conditioning. It's a human conditioning. Like, if you do this is what will happen to them. So let's keep them at that place.
Oh.
That's why it takes a small separation for you to be awakened. You know that tiny things that you don't do, that the things you do that are not normal, you get, are those things that kind of turn on the awakened switch, like kind of put you away from the norm and make you ascend.
You switch on.
Yeah, you switch on. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a different way to see it. Mm-hmm. But I would think that we kind of get into a sleeping state. Just the way you just say that when we are into that programming and believing of things that we've been told. I read this quote somewhere that says, everything I've learned about myself is gotten from forged documents. So can you imagine if as an adult you discover that everything you really believed about you has all been wrong?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So a lot of what we think we know is actually
that could be really interesting. Yeah. So what would be for somebody who has no idea about all these things? So if they say they think, okay, maybe I'm still in a sleeping state. So how do I wake up to know what these people are talking about? Is there anything they could do? Is there some sort of help they could?
There's a lot of help. You understand? And now for our viewers, this is an opportunity for you to enter into this world, because one of the ways you can get into the awakening that we are speaking about here is listening. You understand, like listening to these things you get, because once you listen, once you open yourself to teachings, there will be
like a seed sown.
There'll be thank you so much. There'll be a seed sown, and where there's sowing, there's what? There's growth.
Yeah.
You get. So once you listen to these conversations, trust me, brother, sister, mother, father, you're gonna be awakened. Why? All you needed was a seeding, and that's what we are doing here.
Okay. I also believe that sometimes, everything that we go through as human beings, like for example, we get through all these challenges that we kind of lead to us to kind of suffer, but we suffer because maybe we want to do something that is not being really, we're trying to go somewhere and it's not happening. So we begin to think kind of negatively about ourselves. We begin to see ourselves less than what we are. We are unworthy. We are failures. We put all those things on ourselves. I think also when you get to the point of suffering whereby you don't feel happy within yourselves because maybe you're not achieving the thing that you want. And then obviously when you have forgotten the truth of who you are and you focus on everything outside of you than the inside, then you begin to suffer, asking all these questions that why is it maybe my things are not working? And then somehow in that state of suffering, the switch could come on for you to find the answers as to why this is happening to you. Because sometimes they say that everything that happens to us happens for us. So it could happen to you thinking it's a difficult situation, and then it is happening for you to get yourself out of the sleeping state, so that your consciousness is now aware and be like, oh, okay, I'm more than the body, so I don't have to let all these things happen to me in a suffering way that I'm actually inflicting on myself. Yeah, that's like the other thing I wanted to add on. But anyway, what is the ego? When they say like egoic mind, or like I'm waking up from the me, what is the me? What is the ego like?
Wow, that's a good one. Ego. I'm sorry to say this, and this may surprise the globe, but ego is one of the most dangerous things like a human being can ever have.
Okay.
You understand? That place of thinking it's all about you. What do you say about me? Actually, ego stands for ego is against everything spiritual awakening stands for. You understand? If you get to know this, you're gonna have a very huge transformation.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Awakening or spiritual awakening. What do you awaken to? You understand?
To your essence, to the truth, to the you that is not conditioned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah, and your perspective changes. You're no longer seeing from a myopic space. You understand? You're seeing from
a ground
exactly.
kind of
you understand? And when and those that have gone before us in this journey, if you see their life, they are more to they are more around nature. You understand? They are more to solitude. They are more loving to people. You get? That's why there's this norm that says the people in the church are haters, and the people that are of the other side, and the people that are not of the church, are not. Why? Because these people have been awakened. The church has been awakened. Now, these people have also been awakened. You understand? But now the awakening of the awakening of the church has been misinterpreted.
Okay.
That is one. And I'm not apologetic about that.
I'd love to know about that.
We shall share. Yeah. So the other side has also been awakened. The church, the side that is not of the church. You understand?
Yeah.
And now these people are relating more with nature.
Okay.
They are relating more with people. You get?
They're beginning to kind of be more compassionate. More kind.
Exactly. That's what awakening does. Yeah. Because for some reason you realize it's not about you. You get?
Exactly.
You're going to realize it's about the universe. It's about
it's a big
it's a big thing.
Something's happening.
Exactly. That's what brings me back to the egoistic mind.
Yeah.
You get? It stands against everything that spiritual awakening stands for.
Yeah.
You get? Because now you'll think it's about you. How do they see me? What can I do to make me better?
Yeah.
You get?
How can I achieve this?
How
what
can
will
I
they say
achieve
about
this?
me?
You get? Your egoistic people are more of materialistic, and yet spiritual awakening removes you from the materialistic part and takes you to more of the spiritual part.
Yeah.
You get? Because if all of this ends now, where will you stand tomorrow? Now, spiritual awakening will give you a peace of mind that tomorrow is better. You get? There is a lot that comes to an awakened person than an egoistic person, because you're gonna do a lot, try to prove yourself, because you want us to be like, wow, brother,
praise
you are something. You get? And in the end, you're gonna break, because for some reason.
But something I could ask you is, the way we have been programmed, and things we've learned about our cultures, things we believe about ourselves. So how can you tell me that the ego is the most challenging thing, and it's the thing that I know how to live? It's me that is. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying. How can I separate myself from the ego and not be the egoistic self and be maybe more of the spiritual person? What's the separation? And considering that I've been this other identity for the longest, you're attached to your identity, your name, your sexuality, where you live, your culture, your country, all those things. And it seems like when you go into spirituality, you are kind of leaving that aside. So how can I separate myself from? You need to embrace nature and solitude. You get? Because most of those that have been awakened because of some happenings. You understand? Maybe trauma, an illness, a near-death experience. You understand? Now, all those things haven't happened to you. You get? The only way you can enter into a space of spiritual awakening or of the spirituality is through nature and solitude. You get? Like, you learn to embrace nature. And learn to be in those spaces where you are like alone. You get those lone spaces and meditate. I was about to say the same thing. You understand? And just I think meditate. When you practice the meditation, your awareness, you begin to tap into your higher self, and your awareness kind of expands. Exactly. And I think definitely that's like the best way to move about knowing yourself more. If somebody like this, okay, let me say, someone has had this chat and they're like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to work on myself and get into this whole awakening thing. So when it so happens to you that you are now aware that you are aware and you're no longer in your sleeping state, the dreaming state. So what is life like after, like, you've gotten up from all the programming and everything, and now you feel like you're a new person? So what is life like? What's going on with you in that state?
Well, life will become beautiful. That is one, and more simpler, because because you won't force yourself to do so many things. You realize that there's a life path, there's a life plan that you have to follow. You get? So you're not going to struggle to approve. You're not going to struggle to get people's attention. So
you kind of lose detachment.
You get?
Attachment to things that
don't matter, materialistically.
Yeah.
You understand? And you're going to love people. You get? Because one of the things that makes life hard, very hard, Sid, is I want to prove that I am better than them. Therefore, I'm going to work my hands to the bone just to prove that I'm better than them. You get?
So you're living your egoic self.
Exactly. You get? And Solomon, this philosopher, says, why should you work your hands to the bone and then leave it all, and die with nothing, and you leave it for someone that has never worked in their whole entire life? That's of course your hair. You understand? So a man that experiences this, a man that is filled with this wisdom and knowledge, you get, you're gonna experience a certain amount of peace that can only be defined by the people that have been there too. You get that because this you're connecting to a divine.
Yeah.
You understand? And the divine, we know God is loving. You get, to everyone. You understand? So why should you say you have awakened and you do not love? And you have issues with the neighbor and you have issues with the brother. No. For some reason, okay, not for some reason, but you're gonna love and you're gonna realize that life is so simple. You're gonna realize that life is so simple. Why? Because because you've put away the egoistic you. Actually, another definition of ego is false self.
The false self. Yeah.
You understand? It's a lie that there is such a thing as self.
Okay. Do you think the ego self can completely be dissolved?
Yeah. Possibly.
What state is that?
Possibly.
The ascendancy.
You get, when you keep in this state, when you keep in this spiritual awakening, and there are two spiritual awakenings, by the way, it's not one.
Yeah.
And now one disturbing thought hit me this evening, that we are actually all awakened. You understand? But now you need, how the building has power but the lights are off.
Yeah.
You just need to turn on the switch.
Are you talking about the Oh, go on.
You get? Yeah. You just have to turn on the switch. You understand? Now the switch to some of us, to people, is the dream, the vision, the meditation, the what? The trauma, the illnesses. You get those near-death experiences. Those are actually the switches.
Turning on the switches.
You understand?
How is somebody who is hearing this for the first time help themselves? And I asked you earlier, but it's kind of difficult to understand when you're just hearing it for the first time that the switch is off. You need to turn it on. Sometimes it's grace. Have you ever had a switch experience yourself that led you to think, there's more to life than what I see physical? Yeah.
I had an experience in my senior 4 back at hostel. You understand? And this is why I say the only way, the way you can get awakened is one, continued learning and meditation in the same. You get? A woman, my mom tells me of a story of a woman that leaves a salon one day and goes home, but tells the salonist that I am going home. I'm feeling a headache, but I may not come back.
Okay.
You understand? So the story is later on said that she reaches home, she sleeps and doesn't wake up. So for quite a year and a half, I was disturbed. I'm like, how do people die in their sleep? How do people die in their sleep? You get, how? So I kept that question running in my thoughts, in my mind, in everything. You get? So this one evening, this one night, I'm sleeping.
Okay.
You get?
Interesting.
Hostel. You get? So I'm sleeping, and then I try to, and then I'm caught up in a space. So there's a darkness, and then there's a light. You get, like how you're walking in the day, but then there's a darkness ahead.
Where?
You understand?
Like, was that in your dream or?
Yeah, I literally left me.
Like lucid dreaming.
You get? And I was in a space. I was on a highway. It was a road actually.
So you left your body.
Yes, you get.
Your consciousness left.
Yes.
Okay.
And I tried to enter this force the very first time. I failed. You get? But I wanted to know what is beyond. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was elastic. It was an elastic darkness or cloud of darkness. So every time I tried to push in, I was pushed back.
Okay.
The one.
Okay.
Same thing happens the second time.
How are you feeling in that moment?
No. You know how? Of course, you wake up and you're like, what did that mean?
Yeah.
You get? What did that
Where
mean?
do you want to go?
Exactly.
The darkness?
You get that continued wanting to know. You understand?
So you're just curious. Okay.
So I think after a week again or a month, it happens again.
Was it you trying or it was happening automatically?
It was no. I think I had already asked myself the question and
you wanted to explore.
Opened. Okay. Yes. I opened the space that permitted for the happening. Okay. So I wanted to know how. You get? So the second time it happens, I try to push through the fabric again, the dark fabric.
Yeah.
And I fail.
Oh.
Like it kept pushing me back, and you can't fight with the elasticity. You understand? So the third time.
So what is going on in your mind as you try to spiritually search for all this in the spirit?
I'm disturbed about how such things happen.
So you want to find out.
So I want to know. Yes. I want to know why does it happen? Because for some reason, I'm not afraid of death. But I don't like how the people... I don't like how people feel when it happens. Like, people are affected. You understand? Every time I reach in such spaces, I'm sorry to say this, but I rarely attend them. Why? Because the sorrow that engulfs the atmosphere,
I think it's supposed to be a celebration.
Is undefined.
The other person has
transcended into another realm. You understand? Yeah. So this time, for some reason, I managed to break the fabric.
Whoa!
I managed to enter. I'm actually feeling weird right now saying this. Every time I tell this to someone, I feel what I felt that night.
That incident.
Yeah, so I finally breaking.
Okay.
You get? And
you crossed the barrier.
I finally crossed the barrier, and now I started ascending.
Whoa.
You get? I started ascending. I literally saw my body back on my bed in the hostel.
Okay, and you're moving up?
I was moving up.
Ooh.
You understand?
Ooh.
I was moving up, like at a fast speed. You get?
Yeah.
And then I shouted. You get? I shouted.
Were you afraid?
Yeah, I was so afraid. Like, for the first time, I was having an out of body experience. You get? And I shouted. You get? I chanted. I shouted. I spoke in a tongue.
Do you know what you said?
No.
You just screamed?
Yes, I spoke something. Okay. You understand?
Yeah.
And within a split second, I was back. And of course, you know how you feel, like breath coming back into you, like life coming back into you.
We've never.
Okay, it has
that sort of
it has happened to me many times. You understand?
Wow.
It has happened to me many times. There's even a time I wanted to know how do people ascend. You get? And I think I wasn't ready.
Okay.
So I was ascending and something hit me. I woke up the next morning with a terrible headache.
Oh.
You understand? A terrible headache. And my family members thought it's a malaria. Took me to the hospital and did all those procedures, but I knew what had actually happened. You get? I was hit back. That's when I knew that I wasn't actually ready.
Did you kind of knock something in the space or something pushed you?
No, it's like I was going and then I was hit.
Oh.
Yeah, like I was just hit.
So
something hit
you
my...
came back heavily.
I came back to my bed. And since then, I have learned to appreciate that we are meant to know. Mm-hmm. You get? But if you're not ready, you have to learn more. You
Wow,
get, you have
yeah.
to learn more. You have to invest in meditation. You have to invest in solitude, because once you invest in those, you're gonna open a space. You're gonna open an entity that is gonna come and give you more
Guidance, kind
guidance
of direction,
into that world.
But
Yeah.
even talking about those entities, I hear we have spirit guides and all these other guardian angels and things like that. But I mean, how do you ever even know? I know that everybody has a guardian angel. But how do you even ever communicate, or if you wanted to reach out for some sort of guidance? Like, what do you do?
There's basically, I don't know why I'm over saying the word basically, but there's a lot of spiritual activity that is happening on earth right now, and it's only a few that have tapped into it. You
So
get?
does that mean we just need to tune into the spiritual frequency so we can access those higher energies or those people that
Yeah, no, you just have to understand who you are and what you can do. You get? Like, we are limited by our perception.
Okay.
We are limited by what we see. Now, wake up in the morning and forget everything you know, forget everything you see. You get? You're going to attract the unseen. You're going to attract what people have been telling you about life, about the angels and everything. You're going to have a vivid experience with them. Why? You've put away everything you can see. You've put away everything you know, and you're literally telling them, I'm empty. Some of the greatest philosophers, some of the greatest I don't know which other word alchemists.
The ascended masters.
You get?
And,
Yeah. They say, for some reason, they end up saying, I know nothing. You get? Like, I know nothing.
Because I think there's a lot to
get?
know.
There's a lot to know.
Yeah.
You get? There's a lot to know.
Just to add on that, I do listen to podcasts and all them things. I do listen to spiritual teachings. Read a lot of books. I've been to retreat seminars, all that stuff. But everyone is teaching something, and each time you go there, it's like something new, and you feel like everyone is teaching spirituality in a different angle, and it's like you can never have it all. You can never understand it all.
You can't.
Everything. It's not all the time something new that you don't know, and you want to know more. So it's like an ongoing process that never really ends. Yeah. So that's why you say like you just mentioned that those spiritual people just tell us that even when you find them for the first time and they begin talking to you, we do admire them and be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
why do people get all this knowledge?
Yeah.
And then they tell you they know nothing.
Yeah. You get? They say, most of them even say there's no end to knowledge. There's no end to knowing. You get? Every generation vibrates at a certain frequency. Every generation has a certain wisdom with which they identify with.
Yeah.
You understand? So, but one thing we should all know is, when it comes to the spiritual part of it, there is literally no huge difference. You get?
In regards to what?
There's literally no huge difference in regards to knowing how the spirit works. There's literally
Like
no
huge
change.
difference with
like
what I compare it
like our earthy wisdom.
Okay.
You understand? Because mind you, what happens on earth in the spirit has already happened. You understand? So you may think someone in 1992 had a better awakening, you get, yet it's actually the same through time. Why? Because for you thought it happened in 1992, but it has already happened. You get? So that wisdom is just it's gradual.
Is it like you just tune in and access it?
Exactly. You get? You just, it depends on where you're at. You get? Because you can't be in the baby steps and you want to access what your grandfathers are having. You get? So that's why you're saying each one of them has a different way they are explaining spirituality, and it's beautiful. Why? The way I'm explaining it is not the way you're gonna explain it. The way you explain it is not.
You were talking about the same thing.
But we're speaking about the same thing. You get? The way different philosophers are gonna attack it. That is why it's a very good thing to appreciate wisdom, and that is why it's a very good thing to keep learning. Other than having the egoistic self that says no, all what they're saying is wrong.
You know better.
You understand?
There's something I wanted to read to you here. Just a little. There's a book obviously that helped me onto my journey, Spiritual Enlightenment, by Jade McKenna. And the guy writes that spiritual awakening is about discovering what's true. Anything that is not about getting to the truth must be discarded. Truth isn't about knowing things. You already know too much. It's about knowing. It's about unknowing. I love that because truth is about unknown. So which means everything you know is not true. So now you have to begin to unpeel, shed off, deconstruct. So he goes on to say, it's not about becoming true. It's about unbecoming false.
Okay.
How can you unbecome false? Oh my God. So that all that is left is truth. So imagine, like, how can you unbecome false? Is it definitely like what we just discussed about the construction and the programming and all, like instead of continuing to embrace your egoic self and feeding it more, so you begin to unpeel so that truth is left.
I'm sorry, you finish.
No, just ends there. Go on.
The egoistic self is something that is built from primary.
Okay.
You understand? It's actually built from the programming that those that think they govern the earth have set in place. You understand? You have to go to school, sit on a desk, write your examination alone. You get?
But is it not to help you though?
No.
At that stage.
No, imagine if we're discussing the examinations in classrooms and we all pass, you get, and we are all successful up there, you get. So the system that has been set is what has limited men, because one, it has limited connections, it has put away love, you get. So the only way you can unbecome the falsehoodness, the false self, you understand, is by forgetting everything you know.
Oh my God, that's a hard, like, it seems like a difficult moment to begin to
wake up in the morning and set up a foundation, a school, and let children discuss during the examinations. You get? Because I'm doing my paper alone, I'm even hiding. I don't want you to see what I'm doing. Tomorrow, that's the same mentality I'm going to carry in everything I do. You get? I am me. I am me. I am me. I am me. I am alone. It's all about you. It's all about you.
So the emphasis on, since we arrive and start school, since we arrive on earth and start school, so the emphasis is you, yourself, and you.
Exactly. You get? So school has actually played a big role in keeping people at that place of sleep. You get? As school has played a huge role in keeping us asleep. I'm not saying do not go to school. No. You get? All I'm trying to say here is we have been programmed and we have been limited in so many ways. But the time is now.
We just have to reveal ourselves
to
ourselves.
The time is now. The time is now.
Yeah, that's a good one to sit in that perspective. The other thing I wanted to ask you, what would be the characteristics of a sleeping soul?
Now listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. One of the characteristics of a sleeping soul is those people are always angry. You get? They detest from nature. Like they stand against everything that speaks of love. You understand?
Oneness.
They have no love for others. You understand? They are so much onto themselves. You get? That person is at a place of great sleep. They are disturbed about everything. You understand? They are, well, the examples are so many that can tell you that this person is actually at a place of sleep. You understand? And they'll never know it. They are so materialistic. If you see someone that...
It's funny, you just mentioned that they never know it, because how are you supposed to know that you are sleeping? It's not advertised on billboards. This kind of information is not in our faces, like, hey, this is what is being told, come wake up, wake up, wake up. So how are you supposed to know that you are even sleeping? Like, you're unconscious.
If you're disturbed about everything, You get?
It's only when I think when you become a little bit more curious and you begin to ask questions.
It's the moment if you want to know, ladies and gentlemen, that you're actually asleep is you are disturbed about everything. You forget that all things happen for a good reason.
Yeah.
You understand? You're disturbed.
But hey, listen, I have children, I have a husband, I have a job that is very demanding, I have my family that I have to look after. How am I supposed to begin even this journey to find out all these things that you're talking about? Like, I'm busy, I don't have time for that.
People I'm sorry to take this direction slightly off, but people have relationship issues. You understand? And one of the things that always happens is if you love someone, you can always make time for them. You can never be too busy for someone. You get? Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to experience this world of awakening or uncontrolled happiness,
like
you understand? I feel it. No, you get you give it time. The books are
the books
thousands,
are there.
You understand?
There's so much teachings and everything.
You get. So there's a lot. You can't tell me that your surrounding can limit you from accessing the divine. No, the divine is everywhere.
I think also even stepping out of, because now, like you said, the programming, chasing the corporate radar. Maybe I want to get this promotion, I want to get this degree. And you keep chasing.
You'll actually see to it that someone steps down that you may ascend.
Trying to rotate in the rat race, and it makes you forget who you are. Also, like, it all begins by questioning. If there's something you don't understand, you begin to question it. And also, to get out of the routines. I have a job, I have to go to work to this time, finish this time, go home, do ABCD, start again tomorrow. 1 month, 1 year, you're doing the same thing. But just take out time and be like, okay, what is there to life other than this path that I'm doing routinely? And also I feel like somebody who is in a state of sleep, like a soul sleeping, is they kind of live like in fear. They're in ignorance.
Yeah, it's a very terrible state to be at.
Ignorance
You're
of
going
who
to
you
judge.
are. They're easily manipulated.
That's true.
Yeah. They sometimes they could be not, because they're not really true to themselves. They could be thinking unworthy. You understand? It's something that is really, really in a dream state. Like, they don't have really much. Even thinking that, oh, I'm here, so it's all about me, myself, and I, like you said. So there's nothing outside of me. I think that's also the other thing, that, because people that have come to the awakening state, when I hear stories of people hurting others, and I don't think anybody who lives in the space of love can come and hurt you, do wrong things to you. But somebody who is living in the me, everything is all about me, I need to fight you so that I can get the promotion, I need to put you down so I can be elevated. That me state is also, because if we were all living from a space of love, I don't think we would even have all these wars that are going on in the world. Because if I love my neighbor, why should I hurt my neighbor? But the wars that are going on, the misery, the suffering, it's not because we are descending, or we are moving further from love, from the divine, and we're just doing you, yourself, and you, the ego thing, because all those attributes are for the ego. The divine person who lives in love, in compassion, in kindness, can't begin to go and start fighting people, go and start killing people anyhow, go and start doing all those things that we call evil. What do you think?
There's a lot. But like we said earlier, Ron, it takes wisdom, and it's going to take a lot of knowledge. That's learning and knowing and understanding in the same, for you to know that you are actually on the wrong path. You get? Mm-hmm. But now ego is going to do everything he can do. Let me say he, because
is the ego male?
Yeah, no, but there's just something about it that makes it masculine. You understand? Yeah. So ego is gonna sit with that, brother, you are on the right path. You get? Let's take this as an example. Said, I annoy you. I do to you something that is not bad. Because if we bring it into questioning among the brothers, they'll be like, okay, it wasn't so bad. But because of ego, you're gonna be like, no, Traj shouldn't have done that to me.
Yeah.
You get?
So it becomes personal.
It becomes personal, and
Then
now
revenge.
you
kind
get,
of, yeah.
and now you may not necessarily kill, but you may walk away. You may walk out of my life because I angered you.
Yeah.
You understand? Now you forget that we are human beings. And we all have energies around us. Life is spiritual in general.
Yeah.
You get, you are either for the other side or you're either for this side. There is no middle line.
Between.
There is no in between. There is no I am neither spiritual. No. You're either for the evil or for the holy.
That's a good one.
You get, there is no dividing line.
Yeah.
So you're gonna walk away from me because I angered you.
Yeah.
You get? Now, when you walk away from me because I angered you, mind you, we have been living this, we have been taking the same path. Now, what happens if in 2024 you take a different path? You understand? We have been okay, we have been successful, we've been happy. But now because of anger, because you're disturbed, you take a different path. Now you're gonna get issues ahead. Why? Because you forget that. For some, you forget that because life is spiritual, you being around me. You know how they say pussycats clear the energy, the bad energy in the environment?
Yeah.
You understand? It's same applies with people. You can affect me by just being around me. You get? You can change my life. That's why they say we should mind those we associate
Yeah.
with. You get? So you're gonna leave the association that we've been having together, and you're gonna take a different path. You're gonna reach ahead, and you're gonna be disturbed. You're gonna be afflicted in so many ways.
Because I left the
because you left the relationship. You understand? Why? Because you were so myopic, you were so egoistic that you did not know that there is a reason as to why this relationship is on. You get? So you're gonna reach again. You're gonna reach in the middle or ahead, have issues, and then you want to come back. You forget that you left me at point A. I continued moving forward. You took a different path. You found issues. Now you want to come back and find me at point A. Sister, you won't.
Impossible.
I'll be ahead.
Yeah.
You understand?
Is that when the kind of the jealousy comes in?
Now that's where the jealousy comes in from. So it is building upon building. You started with anger, now you're envy, now there's jealousy.
Yeah.
You get, so you realize because of this Kawan era, due to ego, you're gonna hate someone for the rest of their lives. And you're still gonna miss the mark. Mind you, for them, they're gonna continue thriving.
Yeah.
You get, but because of ignorance, because you thought
so narrowly,
you thought I must be loved.
He has to say sorry to me.
People that are asleep. This one is for you. You want to be apologized to 24/7? No, for goodness' sake. Some things have to happen. Some things are just a test. You get, some things are just a temptation, and we can walk through them peacefully without fighting.
Yeah.
Just let life have her perfect
That's another
course.
level. That's another level you're talking about, without fighting. How many times do people get into conflict and they don't separate? Like, and I never want to find this person again. If I have to go and pray bad prayers for you, I have to wish you bad things. But that point whereby, you know what, I am for peace at all times.
You know when you decide to take the way or the road of peace, they are gonna hurt you more. You get? Because you're gonna make them keep looking stupid, and they'll want to try to make themselves look right.
But I think at that level, you as an awakened being, you have transcended these trivial minor bits and pieces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
somebody can't come to you and maybe step on your toe and be like, you're upset all day. Like, how dare they? I'm going to go and do something wrong. Because it's very trivial. It doesn't really seem to be like you've learned to.
No, the Bible says, do not wake up angry and let the sun go down when you're angry. It doesn't make sense to be that kind of person.
Yeah.
It's is it narcissistic?
Narcissistic.
Narcissistic. You get it. It's Actually, there is literally no English word that can break down
What that is.
what that is, because you're not just ignorant, you're not just arrogant, you are something else.
You are giving you are that thing, whatever that thing is enslaving you.
You are enslaved. Actually, let's use enslaved. I'm sorry for saying no English word could, but you're enslaved to a certain kind of space.
If maybe, let's say, it's unforgiveness,
You get.
or it's hatred that it keeps boiling in your space and you can't really detach from it. So eventually people annoy you and you begin hating, you unforgive. Over time you are bound in unforgiveness.
And
And the funny thing is that it happens and you actually not aware of it.
And you die unforgiving.
Unforgiving.
And that's why we have this norm of how after death you come back roaming, disturbing people. You get? Now there's a whole theory to that.
People. That's a topic for another.
No, that's a 4 hours topic. That's a 4 hours topic, because there's a lot of spirituality. There's a lot of unjustified spirituality that happens in that space that is actually not good, because there's some things that are technically impossible, but because it's a spiritual world,
Yeah.
That's for another time.
Yeah,
That's for another time.
That's
Yeah.
quite interesting. Oh my God, we really had a lot to talk about, and this has been really nice, and I'm sure we can do this again. But obviously, as we were saying, it's one soul at a time. You know how we say we want to see change, and then we think change is going to be outside there. Change all begins with us. This understanding and wanting to know and wanting to wake up and wanting to explore all these spiritual things that we are talking about. It all starts from with us. So when you change, I change, everybody changes. If at all that time will ever come whereby there is peace, that's like a dream come true, right?
No, this is not a dream come true.
I'm saying when like in the world, yeah, when there's peace and love and everyone is exuding those sort of attributes, is it not
it's a vision come true. You get? I believe, I don't know if dream limits or it's just my thought and perception, but this is something we are longing to see.
We would love to see that space.
We would love to see that time where we are all living in peace and in harmony. You get? Why should that happen after nuclear something? Like we have destroyed half the globe and now we're like, okay, this is how dangerous ego can be. Now let's learn to live in peace. No.
Yeah. No. All right, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything you want to say? Any last words to pass someone watching us, seeing this for hearing about these things for the first time?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe, like, and share this, because everyone needs to hear this. This is what we need to hear. South Africa, Europe, the Antarctica, however cold it is, you need to be awakened spiritually. I love this.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Would love to hear your comments. Definitely, please comment, share your opinions, let us know what you think, and also anything that you want us to talk about. We'll be here to discuss things and break things down, and share some light on some of these things that probably been not aware of. Thank you so much for watching once again. We'll see you soon. Bye.